Oh, would you please stop? Really, I wish you would just drive instead of fiddling with the brakes.
Dorian, it's kind of important to know that the car is able to stop, don't you think?
I thought you said that the brakes were good.
Well, I'm making certain, aren't I? Will you stop whining? Just be glad you're not still standing out in the middle of the road, flailing your arms around like an idiot. Oh, and please, this ride is going to be a silent one.
Fine. David has some nerve. Leaving me stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Jonas Chamberlain, heir to the throne, I give you my daughter, Talia Hesse, future queen of Mendora.
I don't want to be queen of anything, let alone the country the size of a shopping mall, but thanks anyway for the offer.
This isn't an offer, Talia. It's your destiny.
My destiny is to get out of this godforsaken place.
You were born to be a queen. And you will be one.
When you marry me.
So you're not going to want to hear this.
Hear what? About who?
It's actually about your father.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm an alcoholic.
Charlie?
Hey. Well, it's good to be back. In truth, I wish I didn't have to be here, but I do. So, I had a few good months in, and I was doing real well. And, let's see, about 6 weeks ago, I found myself in the emergency room with a BAC that would have killed any lesser lush. And of course, the question is, how did I end up slipping and get drunk? And actually, that's exactly what I'd like to know.
Oh, thank goodness. Really, doesn't your daughter have some decent CDs in this car? Maybe something classical.
No, we're not going to listen to anything.
Fine. I'll just close my eyes and try to get some rest.
No, I want to talk to you, Dorian.
I thought you said...
I want to talk to you about Charlie.
Okay, fine. You want to be a bad dude? Want to see the view from the other side? Fine. Trespass away. In fact, I'll make it easy for you. Go for it.
No, don't be an idiot, Paulson.
This has to be some sort of joke.
No, it most certainly is not.
Arranged marriage? Are you stuck in medieval times?
Talia, maybe you don't grasp the gravity of this situation, but, darling, I am the true heir to this throne.
I don't care if you're Count Basie. My father is insane.
She's not marrying him.
It's not open to negotiation. Talia understands that.
Do something, Dane.
I bit the frock, remember? They put a crimp in my clout.
You're gonna have to kill me first.
I would never harm you, my precious. But if you don't marry Jonas, then your friends will die. And Antonio's death will be the slowest and the most painful.
want to talk about Charlie? What a loathsome subject.
Loathsome? My goodness, that must be because your dealings with him have been so dishonorable.
Oh, no, dear. Charlie was your mistake.
I cherish every single moment I had with Charlie.
And what a pity you had to dump him because he is a hopeless alcoholic and a pathological liar. I'm so sorry. It really is a heartbreaking story.
I was actually hoping you could shed a little light on a certain aspect of that heartbreaking story.
And what would I know about Charlie that you don't already know?
Well, you know that he almost drank himself to death. Of course you know that. You were needling me about it.
Needling you? That was me reaching out to you, offering a gesture of sympathy.
My goodness, was it? Well, remind me to duck next time you do that.
You know, you have become a very paranoid, hypercritical person, and I must tell you, it's terribly unattractive.
Why are you trying to change the subject?
I am merely trying to inform you that I can relate, all right? I know exactly what it's like to love a drunk.
I don't remember taking that first drink. I mean, look, come on, everybody here knows the load of bull that we sell ourselves when we're trying to justify that first drink. And I mean, the next morning, we may not know, how our nose got broken or how that motorcycle ended up in our living room, but we damn well know how we conned ourselves into thinking that we deserved that drink. I mean, we remember telling ourselves, oh, it'll be different this time. We remember saying, oh, I can stop this time. But, maybe I'm passing the buck here, but I don't remember any of that. And maybe someone, somehow, forced me to drink.
I bet you got a bridge you want to sell us too, huh?
Mel was an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, and yes, he conquered his addiction, but before that, there were blackouts, there were relapses.
Mel was an absolutely wonderful man. He was a gifted newspaper man and an even better friend.
Well, it's very kind of you to switch seats with your dear friend on a plane that was destined to crash.
Are you serious? You think I wanted that to happen? That I wanted Mel to die?
I'm just saying that it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. Mel should be here, not you.
Mom's mad at me for having those beers at the games tonight. Your mom, she thinks I have a problem.
What kind of problem?
A drinking problem.
But if you had a drinking problem, wouldn't you be like falling down and saying stupid stuff? Shane. Mom, you're wrong. Dad is so not like that. Look at him. He's totally normal.
Shane, it's okay. If your mom has a gripe about me, I'm gonna fix it.
Where are you going?
To learn to be a better dad. So that your mom believes in me again. So there's never any chance of losing you, Shane.
Losing me? What did Dad mean? Why would he lose me?
Can anyone here tell me that they can't remember their first drink whenever they were about to slip? Anyone?
I remember every first drink, I got to admit.
Yeah, me too. The bargaining, the justifying.
Yeah, and I guess the rest of you aren't saying anything because you know what I'm saying is true. I mean, every time that I have ever slipped, there's always been a chance for me to stop, but not this time. No, there was never any arguing with myself, never any bargaining with myself. That old, I'll just take two and then I'll stop, or I've been good, I deserve it, or life is just so tough that everybody deserves a little drink. No, there was just none of that. There was none of that at all this time.
Actually, not a day goes by that I don't think about that, Dorian. It was such a fluke. Mel and I just swapped seats. So I got the note that was intended for him, and that's why I got off the plane. So you're right. I was the one who should have died that day, not him. And I carry that with me all the time.
I finally found happiness. Mel was my husband. My life was shattered when he died.
I'm sure it was. Which is why I'm wondering, how do you do it?
Do what?
How do you live with what you've done?
I will admit, I was going through hell, but I wasn't feeling defeated. I have had a wonderful woman who I was working very hard to get back into my life, and I knew that I had to be on top of my game if that was going to work out. So, I mean, why would I drink? Why would I let myself go when I had so much to lose?
And what on earth am I guilty of?
Oh my God, I don't have time to get into that list right now. No, I'm specifically referring to what you did to Charlie.
Could we put some music back on? Really, atonal banging would be preferable to this pathetic...
Somehow, Dorian, somehow you got Charlie to drink that night.
And
Somehow you got Charlie to fall off the wagon.
Okay, how would I possibly do that?
I don't know, you're a doctor. How did you do it?
So you're gonna kill Sarah and Christian. You're gonna kill Antonio if I don't marry him? And you claim to love me.
You'll be happy with Jonas?
No.
And I'm with you, my love.
Just shut the hell up.
This is all our fault.
How could it be our fault, honey? Talia, you and I can be world leaders together.
You're dreaming if you think you are anything other than my father's stew.
Well, I'm sorry that you are cynical. But your father and I are partners. And we both agree on the direction that Mendora should take.
Seize him!
No.
Don't stop me this time, Mike. Let me kill the bastard.
I love you so much, Antonio. I can deal with anything as long as I have you. Please, just save yourself and let my father go.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Lock him up.
Please, don't. Just let him go.
We'll find a way. And we'll come back for you.
It's pretty to think that, isn't it?
You can't stand it, can you? You see somebody with a productive life and a clear conscience, and you're just overtaken with envy. It drives you mad.
Overtaken? I'll tell you what's overtaken me, and that's the conviction that you are responsible for Charlie's downfall.
No, that would belong to you.
No. Now, you were afraid that Charlie was going to tell the truth about Jared before you had a chance to at the shareholders meeting, which would have enabled you to take over the company. See, and if Clint and Bo had learned the truth that night, before the meeting, they would have been able to do damage control, and believe me, you would not have been able to destroy as many lives as you did in one fell swoop.
Oh my, what utter nonsense. No, Vicky, you are responsible for Charlie falling off the wagon because you didn't give him any sympathy, you were judgmental, you were totally emotionally withholding, but may I add, that's your usual MO.
No. Charlie says he remembers you were the last person he talked to before he started drinking.
I admit it. I did see him at the hospital.
Yeah, and you argued, right? You argued.
And you believe the word of a pathological liar?
Over yours in a heartbeat.
Oh, come on! Look, I hate to tell you this, but Charlie made up that little story. Yes, in order to shift the blame. That is what alcoholics do. Because nothing happened at the hospital. Not a thing.
I think I know myself pretty well. And I just can't believe that I would take a drink without even knowing about it.
If you didn't take that first drink, Charlie, what happened?
Well, I think I have an idea of who might have wanted me out of commission for a while. And somebody who really did not want me to tell the truth about my son.
You think someone forced you to drink?
You know, all I know is that the last thing that I remember clearly is being with this person. And she and I argued. And then after that, everything's just a blank. Except for some, like, weird, hazy images. And so I'm thinking that maybe I was knocked out or something.
Now, Charlie said that you were furious because he told you he was going to tell Rex the truth, that he wasn't his father.
And you believe the word of a lush who's desperately trying to get back in your, shall we say, good graces?
I'll tell you something, Dorian. Charlie is a good and he's a decent man who's had a lot of very bad breaks in his life. And believe me, if he said that you got him to drink, then that's what happened. I just wish I knew how you did it.
Now, Mac. The whole idea is ridiculous. How can you possibly force someone to drink?
I don't know. You could do it.
Right. So, being a foot shorter and 75 pounds lighter, I, with sheer brute strength, managed to force his mouth open and pour massive amounts of booze down his throat.
I wouldn't put anything past you.
Are you so desperate to forgive his drinking that you will believe any lie that he throws at you?
In this particular case, he's telling the truth.
Okay, wait a second here. We are talking about a man who said that he slept with Roxy so that he could claim to be Rex's father and not Jared's. Come on! Who but a pathetically sick liar would make a claim like that?
Hey, someone there? God damn it. Mo? Are you okay?
Sometimes people aren't what they seem.
Not Dad. He's everything you said he was.
I'm glad you like him so much.
I love him. I thought you did too.
I'm real fond of Brody.
Then why did you make him go away just because he had a few beers?
I wasn't gonna make him go.
You should have seen all the other dads. They were drinking like it was New Year's Eve or something.
Brody isn't like other dads.
You're right. He's better.
Sweetie, Brody has a lot going on inside of him. Things that bother him.
The war, Mom. It's because he fought in war. Aren't you always telling me to look up to people who do that?
Yes.
He's gone all that time doing something good. He's really upset that he missed all that time with you and me.
He told you that? Well, I can see how happy you are to have him around.
I am. Please, Mom, don't take him away from me.
Thank you for sharing, Charlie. We appreciate your honesty and wish you the best.
Thank you all. Thank you for your support.
Of course. So, would anyone else like to share? The gentleman at the door. Would you like to come in?
This is Hey, right.
It is. Is this where you want to be?
I'm not an alcoholic, if that's what you mean.
Then why are you here?
Dorian, I am really convinced that Charlie was not responsible for his drinking that night, and you were.
Oh, here we go again.
Because, you see, you absolutely refused to give me a straight answer.
Okay. I did not cause Charlie to go off the wagon. All right. Is that a straight enough answer for you?
No. See, you wouldn't be quite so rattled if you weren't hiding something. So I suggest you tell me what it is, or I'll just stop the car and I'll leave you on the side of the road again, okay?
Fine. You want the truth?
Mm-hmm.
You really want to know what happened that night? Okay. Charlie fell off the wagon and into my bed. We slept together. Happy now?
Okay, that's a lie.
Do not ask for the truth if you can't handle it.
Look, if this tryst happened, it was obviously none too memorable because Charlie has no recollection of it whatsoever.
Well, that's what he tells you. Would you really like to hear how it happened?
Oh, I bet you're going to tell me.
Yes. Charlie and I were in the emergency room. It was right after Adriana's accident. Charlie was very upset because of your awful rejection of him. I was a bit upset myself because Adriana and I had an awful scene. Anyway, Charlie rushed out. Oh, I got worried that he was going to hurt himself, so I followed him. And sadly, when I found him, he was drinking.
Where was he?
In the park. Yes. With a bottle that he had bought for himself. Poor guy. He was so devastated. He said the only way that he could numb the pain from the terrible things that you had said to him was to drink. And then it occurred to me, what if the shoe were on the other foot? What if this was Vicky, who found Mel drinking? Wouldn't she try to help him? And so I decided to take Charlie home with me. He was really, really miserable, and I confess, I needed to soothe my own pain, and so I joined him in a few drinks.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, you beg him not to drink, then you take him home and you join him? That's helpful.
My goal at that point was to comfort him, because as Charlie was pouring out the vodka, he was also pouring out his heart to me. And he said it was very comforting to have a woman listen to him who wasn't so judgmental. And then, in an effort to get him to lighten up, well, I'm afraid we had a few giggles at your expense. Yes, we did. I'd always liked Charlie. But that night he seemed especially charming and vulnerable, and one thing led to another.
You know what? I just don't believe it. I think even if Charlie had been 4 sheets to the wind, he would not have gone to bed with you.
I believe that you said the same thing about Joey and Clint. And as I recall, they both ended up in my bed, too.
I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna get help. I'll be right back. You guys just stay where we at.
I'm not gonna take Brody away from you. I just want to make sure you're safe.
Dad takes good care of me, same as you do.
Driving after a few beers, that doesn't fly with me.
But Dad just said he was going to make it better. Doesn't that count for something?
Well, how's this work anyway? Do you need my name, rank, and serial number?
No last names, no ranks, no bosses here.
We're all the same, just a bunch of drunks.
So, what do you want to hear?
Whatever you want to tell us.
Dad wants us to be a happy family. Is that ever gonna happen?
What do you mean?
Just, are we ever gonna be like a real family? Where you and Dad are real parents, and not just friends?
I got back from Iraq last fall after years of back-to-back tours, and before that, Afghanistan. I lost a lot of friends, but I'm alive. No bad injuries. Don't know why it worked out that way, but it did. When I finally got back, I don't really know how to explain it, but nothing was right anymore. I couldn't stop seeing my buddies. You know, ones I saw die, ones who were still there. It seemed like the only thing that could stop me seeing them was booze. And the only thing I really could feel was the ass beatings I took in the bar fights I always started. It was all I wanted to feel. Until I came here to Landview. Hooked up with my ex-girlfriend and her son. They made things start to be right again. They made me want to be the guy I was. The guy I know I can be again.
Charlie lies to you for months about just about everything, and yet you are convinced that you know he would never have slept with me. He needed a confidant, someone simpatico, someone who knew who he really was and what lies he was telling. And that person was me.
And the last person that I remember talking to that night was Dorian.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. That just came from Dorian's place where I put it to her, and she just kept saying that I don't know what I'm talking about.
She would do that.
Right, but while I was questioning her, I had this very strange image or some memory.
Of what?
Of being in Dorian's bed.
I'm sorry, Vicky. I know that this is very, very hard on your already battered ego. But it did happen, and you know it.
Now that you two frauds have been exposed, I don't think you'll be needing these anymore. All of it. Now. You don't know how it sickened me to watch you two preen and pose and rob the country of what rightfully belonged to them and my ancestors. Finally, I can return the crown jewels of Mandora to the people. Sorry. These are for a queen, and I want you to wear them at our wedding.
It's not happening. You got it? It's not happening. I hate you. I hate you for this. Okay, well, now that Jonas has his jewels and we've been dethroned, why don't we all just head out?
Yes, well, you certainly will head out. Mendoran law mandates that traitors be beheaded.
And then when I woke up, Charlie was gone. So was my entire supply of vodka. I guess Charlie felt so guilty about drinking. That's why he nearly drank himself to death. You rejected Charlie. You threw him out of your life. You're the one who should have been there for him. That is, if you truly loved him.
I do love him. I love him with all my heart.
I just want to be able to tell my girlfriend I came to this meeting.
Oh, so you're here because she told you to be here.
Yeah, I'm crazy about her. I have been since I laid eyes on her 11 years ago. She's the reason I'm here. I don't need AA. I just need my girl and her son.
So, you haven't been drinking?
Just once in a while. My girl and her boy, they're putting me back together. So I don't want to wreck it. That's why I need to be the best dad I can be.
You keep saying your girl's kid.
Yeah, I know. That's because he's not really my son.
I can't promise you that your dad and I are going to be together that way.
But it's possible, right?
I don't know.
I just feel bad for you sometimes.
Oh.
I keep thinking about how you stood up at Rex's wedding and said you loved him.
Yeah, I sure did.
Are you always gonna love Rex? Is that why we can't be a real family with Dad?
Let's go.
Don't you dare try to blame me for Charlie's failings.
Know something? You are far worse than I ever thought you were. You claim to understand alcoholics, and yet you drank with him. You drank with Charlie. You enabled him. If he did sleep with you, it was only because he was too stupefied to know what he was doing.
It's an interesting pattern, isn't it? That the men who tire of your grandiose posturing always turn to me.
Your life is so miserable and devoid of meaning. The only satisfaction you get out of anything is by hurting people.
I did not start this conversation, and I did not set out to hurt you. I was cornered into it. It just came out.
It just came out? So you made it up?
No, of course not.
Dorian, I beg of you. If you have one shred of humanity in you, please tell me the truth. Did you really sleep with Charlie?
What?
Oh my God. Wait, if the brakes are not holding.
Do something, can't you? Oh my God.
You're not serious.
Oh, yes. You and Tina will be beheaded for treason.
No.
Well, the Mendoran people will never stand for it.
After you posed as their sovereign and ripped them off, I beg to differ.
Well, do what you will with me and Kane, but do not hurt my baby.
Excuse me?
I won't lay a finger on her. Christian will do the honors.
What the hell are you talking about?
You've killed on my orders before, and now you will again. You are going to kill Sarah.
Don't worry about me, okay, honey? And as for that thing with Rex, well, it doesn't really matter. Why not? Well, duh, I still married Adriana.
But maybe not forever, right?
Enough with the questions, okay?
Are you waiting to see what happens?
Shane,
I just want you to be happy.
I am happy. I have you. And as for Rex, well, he gave me a pretty serious goodbye today and took off.
When's he coming back?
I don't know, but I got the feeling that he'd be gone for a while.
Must have been zapped by that lightning that struck earlier. Poor guy's getting a bustle up a rescue squad. Not with the power out. All right, you got a good grip? Yep, here we go. Come on.
Makes no difference to me. The biology part of it, I mean. Especially since Shane's real dad doesn't even have a clue that the kid is his.
Why not?
He took off before the kid was even born. What kind of sucks, the reason I'm trying so hard to prove myself is the woman who I keep saying is my girlfriend, she just isn't into me.
Well, that could make a person want to drink.
I'm gonna get it under control. I have to if I'm gonna change the way she sees me. I have to make her see me differently. Or she's always gonna be hung up on her kid's real father.
Vicky!
No,